Hey guys, this is Camo Kid 1SS, and this is a request video. After I did the video on oil not to use, which was the shredder lubricant, never use that, I had a lot of good responses about people telling me what kind of oil to use, and I had a personal message from a friend, and they also wanted some advice on knife oil. So I thought I would show this video of making a customized knife oil. And what we have here is extra heavy mineral oil and 100% pure clove oil. And the really cool thing about using mineral oil or vegetable oil or olive oil when you're making a knife oil is that it's edible. So if you're working in the kitchen, or if you have the potential to cut up some vegetables or something with your knife, you definitely want to use something that's edible that won't harm your body. Also, I have this rim oil I use periodically, and it's a very good oil, but it's not necessarily something I would want mixed in with my food. And Austin is just, he's a little stopped up, so if you hear some heavy breathing in the background, that's just him and it's all cool. Aren't you okay, Austin?
I'm okay.
Okay, he's all good. So we just have this little funnel, and if I wanted to, I could actually just mix a lot of clove oil into this bottle, but I like to have little bottles ready at hand in case I want to travel or something. And let's see, so here we go. How much clove oil do you think we'll need?
Well,
It's pretty strong stuff, isn't
yeah,
it?
I think it's like 4 parts. I just go by smell.
Okay.
I just put it in there, shake it up a little bit, and then smell it.
And Austin, I know you've looked up this recipe before. Do you have any information on why we're using clove oil?
Well, it has to do with back when I was into Japanese blades. I wanted a Japanese oil for my knives, and I looked it up. I looked at the sort of oil that they use, and this is a recipe I got off the internet.
And that's also why Hisatsu 5 is named Hisatsu 5, because back in the day, he named his channel after his favorite EDC tactical knife.
Actually, that's not true.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, yes. The real reason I have the Hisatsu 5 name, and this is it. He's drying the lid off. But when I first discovered YouTube, I was looking for a review on the Hisatsu fixed blade, because I was thinking about buying one. And I found someone who had a video of it, but the video didn't have any talking in it. He was just showing it off. And I wanted to leave a comment, but I couldn't leave a comment without getting a YouTube account. So the knife that I was wanting to ask about was the Hisatsu. And 5 just happens to be a good number, so I chose the Hisatsu 5 because that was the knife I was shopping for at the time. I'm not necessarily huge on Japanese blades. I appreciate them, but I'm not a hardcore Japanese blade guy like I used to be. I enjoy blades from all over the world. I guess the best way to describe it is I like ethnic blades. Like the ethnic series from Spyderco. I like that kind of stuff. Now, how's that oil turning out?
It smells really good, and that's another reason why we're going to use the clove oil, because it smells great. And in fact, I'll probably make another bottle up and I'll use cinnamon oil. So when the holidays roll around again, I can use the cinnamon oil on the knives. And also, people that aren't knife people will pick up my knife if they, borrow the knife, and I know they're going to use it reasonably. They'll pick it up, and not only will they have an experience of a sharp, high-quality knife, but they also have a experience with their senses, and they'll smell the clove oil, and it's just a really cool thing when you could add something positive like a scent to a hobby that you enjoy. So, I mean, that kind of sounds gurgly, but it's true. We're just going to oil up the blade. And probably the downside to using something like mineral oil, although this is extra heavy mineral oil, is it probably won't last like the rim oil or some other high-tech lubricants, but that's not a big problem because mineral oil is really cheap, and it's not a problem to get your hands on some more mineral oil.
Yeah. Also, I use this exact recipe to break in my Filipino ballad song. As some of you may know, when you get a Filipino ballad song, they're very stiff. They don't want to flip. And I used this stuff to break it in. So, little.
And we'll also oil the mechanism, which it already looks like I have some in the mechanism. But, I don't think you can get too much oil. I'll wipe the excess off. And now, after I oil a knife, I always like to work the action so the oil gets up in all the parts. And then we'll kind of blot it down.
Does the blade smell?
It smells great.
Yep.
Yeah, it smells really good. And, oh yeah, here's something else. It looks like the clove oil might have discolored the mineral oil. So, that's kind of cool to look at. And, let's see. I've never been drunk, but this is a sweet tea bourbon. It's very strong and almost offensive tasting to me. I'm just kind of going through, maybe a stage like Cutlery Liver where I try a little bit of alcohol in my Coke or something. So, don't worry about the alcohol, it's fine. And in fact, this was nasty, so I dumped it out down the sink and made knife oil. So,
those little bottles come in handy.
yeah, and you can kind of recycle. But anyways, we have a knife that smells good now, and we've also answered a few questions for people that want to use a particular type of oil. It kind of depends on what you're doing with a knife. Is it just a utility knife? You can go with a more high-tech oil, and you could probably actually add clove oil to the high-tech oil if you want to. But if you're going with something more in the food industry, you might be at a restaurant, or perhaps you want to use your Voyager in the kitchen, which I love to do because I like a sharp knife. And a lot of my kitchen knives actually aren't sharp because they are just thrown in the drawer and they don't get much care taken to them. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. And if you have to make your own custom oil, I'd like to see a video response. Or if you don't want to do that, please just tell us what scent you chose. Clove oil, cinnamon oil. They have all different types of oils.
Doe estrus.
Yeah. I guess that might work. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for watching, guys.